Bam! What's up with the squad? It's your favorite auntie with Uncle Tendencies. And yes, y'all know what it is. It's Poly Sports Tea Time with Cess Talk Sports and BY's Poly Sports Podcast. Y'all already know this ain't just sports talk, y'all. This ain't sports talk hour. We do a lot of talking about hoops and other stuff, but y'all already know this truth talk time. This truth talk time. And I ain't riding solo. I got my co-pilot in disruption. Got my co-pilot in disruption. My co-host in politics and power, political Lil in the building. We about to peel back the layers like only we can. What's up, Lil?
What's going on? Time to get it.
Time to get it. Y'all come on in here and run the likes up. Come on in here and run the likes up. This conversation right here, y'all, is deeper than the stats, the trophies, the headlines. We talking for the fields to the courts. Racism's grip on black athleticism. Okay? Okay, come on, y'all. This ain't no game. It's about the grip, the systems, the trauma, the generational exploitation of black bodies that started on plantations and still echoes in stadiums, gyms, and endorsement deals today, especially for black women. Now, y'all know I'm the first one to be like, hey, if you don't want to be a part of it, don't sign up for it. But I'm not going to act like it does not exist, right? It exists. Emily in the building, what's happening? So we're talking about the emotional weight, the psychological toll that sports PTSD nobody want to name, but every black athlete feels, right? So Dr. Joy DeGruy said, what we fail to realize is that we are still living out unhealed wounds, unresolved trauma that manifests in our daily lives, our communities, and even in our success stories. Think about that. You got trauma manifesting itself in success stories. And if we keep it a buck, political Lil turned me on to William Roden. And he hit it straight on the head when he said the black athlete has always had value, but rarely has he or she had power. And that's just not about the money. Okay, let's get past the money part. This is about the control part. It's about who's pulling the strings and what you got to sacrifice to even get in that room, right, Lil? So let's talk about it. Let's name the grip. Let's challenge the system, and let's push the combo. So black athleticism has always been about more than performance. It's about power, profit, and control, right? We quick to hype the speed, the strength, the highlight reels, the black excellence on full display. But what gets lost in all that celebration is the machine behind the moment. The black athleticism, Lil, it ain't never just been about who got the bounce, who the fastest. It's been about who cashing in, who calling the shots, who telling the story. Let's keep it real. From the plantation to prime time, the black body's been commodified, not seen as human first, but as product, okay? As property, as profit. That ain't just history class talk, y'all. That's the blueprint still being followed. Are y'all okay? Check out some of the stuff that happened today and see if you don't see a blueprint being followed. The system's been eating off black brilliance while controlling the spotlight and scripting the narrative. So when we talk about the game, we got to talk about the grip that keeps power out of reach while the world claps for the performance. That ain't just legacy. It's right now. So think about this. We love to chant their names, wear their jerseys, but how often do we consider the toll of that excellence? The pressure to be twice as good, the demand to be perfect, and the scrutiny they face when they speak out or simply exist in their full humanity, right? For black athletes, success often comes at a personal price. One that we don't even talk about: the mental exhaustion, the isolation, the burden of being seen as symbols rather than people. Excellence for them isn't just performance; it's survival under a microscope, under a spotlight. We got them lit up. And you might think slavery ended long ago, but the fingerprints of slavery are still all over modern sports. The system of control, the auction-like drafts, the labor for profit structures, and the constant surveillance of black bodies. These are not coincidences. These are continuations. You hear me? These are continuations. Today's multi-million-dollar arenas may look different from cotton fields, but many of the dynamics, extraction, exploitation, dehumanization, still ring familiar. And the echo is loud. And if we listen, we can trace the line straight from the shackles to the sponsorships. But come on, I got to get Lil in the conversation now. I got to get Lil in the conversation now. So Lil, why do you think so many people still separate sports from politics, especially when it comes to black athletes?
Well, they do it because it challenges their comfort. See, people like to think that, sports is neutral and escape this space, or, they don't want to admit that it's a system, that's woven in, that has racism woven into society. And it includes the institutions that even govern sport. See, it's easy for some people to enjoy black talent, but then they don't want to confront black truth. They don't want to face what these athletes go through, and in some cases, it's really heartbreaking. Um, yeah, you get to pick or choose whether you go into the space,
Mm-hmm.
but it's in most cases your only avenue to wealth, you know, and so it's your labor. You take your
Mm-hmm.
labor and you go into these spaces, and then the space feel like, okay, well, I could brutalize you because you chose to to come into the
Mm-hmm.
space, and this is unfair, and so it distorts some people perception that we have a level playing field. There is no level playing field in sports, period.
Okay,
Not
let's
at
talk
all.
about it. I mean, we were just talking. We were just talking as we was coming up on the show. I digress just a little bit, but we were just talking about coming up on the show how the NFL is pausing some of the programs that they were using to diversify, right? And they were gonna pause, and then they're gonna take a look at how they can do that better.
Yeah.
In today's political climate, I find that hard to believe that's where we headed to, right? When we've been seeing so much cutback, especially in the areas of DEI and stuff like that, right? So, what does that really mean? What does that really mean? When we start to see pauses like this, especially in political in professional sports.
They trying to align themselves with the politics of the time. As I have explained to the audience before, we are in a political climate called white grievance politics. It's an illusion that white people are losing their position by diversifying, by allowing others to have some equity in the
Mm-hmm.
building of industries in this country. And
Mm-hmm.
so what they're doing, they not doing it. They trying to realign the power position to make sure that they maintain the control.
And
And
this
get
wasn't.
the
This
say
isn't.
so.
This definitely. Yeah, and this definitely isn't the conversation that we came up to have. We dropped the video and we're gonna get back to that. But I just thought that it was interesting today that the accelerator program, they paused the accelerator program designed to help increase diversity in coaching and other key positions. Because everybody, when you talk about, it's not enough to be able to be like, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 black coaches. It's not enough to be like, so we want to get to a point where you're not counting. You don't know how many. You don't think about how many anymore. I came up at a time where you you tuned in because it was one black. It's a black quarterback playing. It's gonna be two black quarterbacks playing. It's gonna be a black quarterback in the Super Bowl. It's gonna be a black quarterback versus a black quarterback in the Super Bowl. It's gonna be a black head coach versus a black head coach in the Super Bowl. We shouldn't even be able to count that. Like at this
Mm-hmm.
point now, we have so many black quarterbacks in the game that it's rare that you even hear people say that. But I remember a time when that's what it was. Like, what Randall Cunningham playing? Man, between him and Warren Moon, that's all we pretty much got out there.
Mm-hmm.
But we seen black quarterbacks be successful at the collegiate level. So I just thought that's an interesting dynamic with what we're talking about right now. But I'm gonna stick to the script. I'm gonna stick to the script. And so I want to go back to the idea of black excellence. And what does the idea of black excellence mean in a system that still controls black labor? MJ, what's happening? Y'all jump in the conversation.
Well, black excellence in this context is celebrated and its contradiction. It highlights resilience, brilliance, and achievement in the face of systemic control, but it also exposes how the system profits from black talent
Mm-hmm.
while limiting true freedom, ownership, and power in a country that brand is supposed to be about freedom and individual achievement, and everything's leveled. If you do everything you're supposed to do, like in the case of Shedeur, you do everything you're supposed to do. Then when you get to the draft, you get humiliated. Told your skills are not up to par. Told that your interview was terrible and all this. I mean, just
Political ill want to talk today. Well, let's go on talk. Let's go on talk. You done brought him up. Let's go on get into it. Let's talk Shedeur now. Let's talk
I mean,
Shedeur. Let's talk
he
Shedeur because
he's the perfect
I
example.
heard Lil, I heard stuff like he needed to be humble. Humble for what?
That's
What
all coded language. That's the
what
same
did
thing
he
they
what
told
did
a
he need to
slave
be
on.
humble? humble too, from working hard. He didn't cheat at nothing. He wasn't even. I mean, listen. Of all the things that we see people do today, right? We finna have a conversation now. Y'all getting this conversation to let me know what y'all think about what's going on with Shedeur right now, especially all of the stuff around it, right? So the worst thing that when I say what did Shedeur do, they say he did like this with his watch.
That's so stupid.
I said what? I said what he do? Him doing all this with his watch. So he did it after he scored a touchdown. He did it after he threw a touchdown. He did it as a part of celebration. It's
Right.
not like this young man is just walking down the street like, look at me. He ain't just, you know what I'm saying, just jumping people. It's a reason why he doing this. He ain't just
Well, we in the era
we
NIL,
got
and
we
you're
gotta
supposed
stop
to
this.
be
Yeah, come on, let's talk. We gotta stop this. We gotta
you're
stop this
supposed to be
madness now, y'all.
selling and advertising the product.
Okay.
So this might have been a clever way of coming advertising a watch, or somebody maybe paying him to wear a watch. I mean,
Well, Deion said he needed a watch deal. But I see Officer T. Davis getting in this conversation. Come on in here now. Let's talk about it. So yeah, when they saying we need to be humble when we are already at a disadvantage. Okay, come on now, let's talk. Erica Higgins, what's happening? Yeah, Tuesday. Hey, political tea, polysports tea is my favorite conversation. They said to watch and defending his dad. Okay. Now, this is the one time that I don't know if my chat is gonna move. But put a 2 in the chat if you wouldn't defend your dad. I'll wait. I'll wait. What? What the hell? Defending his dad? Would you defend yours?
every day
And
of
it
the
may be
week.
a few who wouldn't. But those are gonna be one-offs, right? And
Mm-hmm.
crickets in the chat. It may be stuff that you don't even like about your dad. It may be stuff that when we get back home, hey Papa, I'm gonna talk to you about that. But I beat your ass by my dad.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, that's just it. That's just it. Like win, lose, or draw, like it or not. Hey, Pop, when we get back to the house, we're gonna have a conversation. But I will beat your ass about my dad, my mama,
Mm-hmm.
anybody. That's human nature. So he did like this, and he defended his father. See,
I mean, it's
what
like
I got to think about it.
you punishing him. You punishing him
Well,
for black excellence. Everything
well,
this young
well.
man did was what they claim needed to be done. And then just because he goes in confident and as talking to these 5 or 6, 7 clubs that ain't had a quarterback and doing anything in so many years, and certainly haven't been in any championship conversation. And he wants to take your program to the next level, which is going to raise the valuation of your program if you win a championship. And then you step on him over, over what? Over something, over the flashiness of his father. I mean, his father improved the lot of your program also. You ain't making $20 billion because, everybody was quiet, peaceful, and standing in the corner.
Right.
People sold your product. They made it happen. And now you want to be punished. You're being punished for it. That's a lot of psychological damage to these young athletes coming up. And so the next set of black quarterbacks coming through, they might put on their missionary hats. Scared to say
Well, I mean,
anything.
no, and see, that's the thing. They not, and that's the part. That's the part that they need to be scared about. See, Shedeur ain't back down off nothing he did. He been the same. He keep the same smile. Whether you throwing tomatoes at him or giving him a standing ovation, the kid has stayed level. But the thing that irritate me, I mean, we're gonna go and just have this conversation now. I don't know where this conversation is going, but we're gonna just have it. We got some questions and stuff that I want to ask Political Lil, but we're gonna just talk in real time and we're gonna address some real feelings, right? Let's get to it. Hey Denise, what's going on? Yeah, Officer T Davis, exactly. 10 toes down. You say your dad didn't even raise you, but you're gonna stand 10 toes down for him and your stepdad. The thing that we don't talk about enough is the black father in this. The black father is Deion Sanders in this thing. We don't talk about enough about these black fathers because I tell you this, and listen. What I'm not gonna get into a back and forth with people about is if there are fathers who are not meeting the moment for their kids. Are there some fathers out there that ain't showing up? Yes, they are. I'm not gonna have that back and forth. What I am gonna say is that I'm pushing back on that narrative because I know less black men as fathers that don't stand up than I do that do. And so
Mm-hmm.
instead of talking about the ones that don't, why don't y'all start talking about the ones that do? Because I see them out here doing every day, co-parenting with they, and I see black men and women co-parenting all the time, right? I see them co-parenting all the time, very well. But let's talk about all of the drama that they put just around the Sanders family and the draft.
Well, see, they don't
The first thing was, oh, is Dion gonna let P. Laura in there? We here for the drama. He gonna throw her out. What did y'all think this man was gonna do when this woman showed up to celebrate with her sons? Did you what they expected was what they wanted was for him it be a whole bunch of what you did and neck moving and all of that and you get out and so all that kind of madness. That's what they expected. This is what they was expecting. Is he gonna let her come? Are y'all for real? Did y'all see after they took that picture with that boy said Daddy ain't had no choice? Daddy didn't have no choice because that's what the kids wanted. That's what the boys wanted.
Mm-hmm.
What y'all thought?
But you know what?
RobDaManMedia, what's going on?
You know what?
Let's go.
When it comes to controlling talent, they seem to want the father out the picture and the mother out here vulnerable. You know, and that's the biggest thing that I think they wanted to put out there. Don't bring your daddy, not don't bring your mama, don't bring your daddy, because we don't want daddy with control.
Listen.
You know, we want to see these broken families, desperate mother who may not know, you know, what's going on. Because I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna hip you to this.
Yeah, come on, let's talk. Come on, Lil, let's talk.
Tatum, you ever seen his father? Tatum, that played for Boston.
I cannot say that I have. I cannot say that I have.
Father is there. Father is present. Father has always been in his life. Father was his coach. This, that, and the other. But they always want to show him just with the mother. They don't never want to show him with the father. It's even with
Rob,
John.
You seen his dad. Okay.
I mean, I know who his father is because I researched.
Now listen, I'm not a Tatum fan. No, I'm not a Tatum fan, but it's funny that you bring him up because with him going down last night, one of the things that I said is he's one of the best fathers that I'm not a fan of him on the basketball court just because I'm just not. But I love the way that he fathers. I love the way that he. I know who his son is. I know who his son is. I know who Deuce is. I don't even like him, but I can tell. There go his son. I see him all the time.
Right, and his father was
you said
ever
Tatum
present.
From the city, so you don't count. Yeah, you don't count.
He was ever present in his son's life, but they want to portray him as coming from, you know, just a single family household. And I just found that kind of odd. Then when this thing happened with Shedeur, it's like, hey, we're gonna punch the father out the picture. We're gonna have control of your son. We're gonna tell him what is to be done and this, that, and the other. You can't step up like the Manning can step up for his son and want him in the best situation.
Or how Dion stepped up for Shedeur.
Yeah.
Let's stay with Shedeur for a minute. Let's stay in this Shedeur groove for a minute. Cause we talked about this yesterday. We got people from Colorado saying, man, y'all owe me millions of dollars because I was traumatized from watching him fall in the draft.
Yeah.
I need to be on the civil suit. Let's turn this thing into a civil suit. That it was like they was trying to push that it was like they was trying to break him in front of the world. They were determined to break him in front of the world. We're gonna put this spotlight on you and we are going to break you. You didn't break out the round 1, you didn't break out the round 2, you didn't break out the round 3, you didn't break out the round 4, you didn't break out the round 5. And then by the time he got to round 5, they were goddamn man, we better let this boy go because the longer we let him sit here, the more they love his goddamn brother. Oh God, they fell in love with Shedeur Sanders, didn't they? What they wanted to do was have people hate the Sanders family by the end of this thing. They wanted it to be ugly. They wanted Dion and Pilar to show out. They wanted Shiloh not to go nowhere. They wanted Shedeur to be broken and embarrassed, and all they did was kept smiling. All they did was kept smiling and praising God. That's all he did. Kept smiling and praising God. They said, oh my goodness, man, we can't break this dude. And then he showed up at Cleveland and was like, Cleveland, I'm here. Charlotte was like, Tampa, I'm on the way. But you know what I thought about in all of this? What I thought about in all of this was, if this thing had gone the way that it should have gone, with Travis going when he should have went, with Shedeur going where he should have went, with Shiloh even getting drafted. Do you know how much generational wealth that adds on to the generational wealth that Deion has already brought to his family?
Mm-hmm. Yep, and that's
So then it was like, thing. So then I was like, hold on, are they trying to control the purse strings of how much generational wealth is really going into the Sanders family?
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Deion probably already made enough money himself for his grandkids to be okay, right? Did Shedeur, you want some money too? Shiloh, you want some money too? And here comes Travis. You want some money too? Hold on. We ain't handing out all that money like that. So it looked like what it looked like to me is that they decided that, yeah, you're gonna get this money because we couldn't break you. We're not gonna be able to have you not get this money, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now we're gonna piece it off to you how we want to. And you're gonna have to go get it from where we want you to go get it from. They sent him to Cleveland. What the hell has happened in Cleveland? What has happened in Cleveland good about football?
I don't know. They don't have 40 quarterbacks in 25 years. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I can't think of nothing. But then they was like, well, it's a crowded quarterback room. With who? With who? Who would you dare run out there with Shedeur sitting there? But do you think they're gonna try? Or do you think they're gonna try that? You think they're gonna try to keep Shedeur on the sideline? Y'all let me know in the chat. Yeah, this Sanders boy's gonna shine. You got to know that this is the instant pushback on a successful black man. But it's even worse when they celebrate their successes.
Yeah.
No, he can't break God's plan. The lawsuit is semi-genius because it was made for information gathering and distribution. They wanted the world to hear the why on Shedeur's drop in the draft. Semi-brilliant. But here's the thing. I'm still waiting to hear what the hell did he drop for? But is this also pushback because he didn't dance how they wanted him to dance?
Mm-hmm.
You ain't gonna come to the draft. You ain't gonna sit at this table. You ain't gonna smile every time we put the camera on you and wave and have your family out here. How dare you decide how you should come into this league?
No autonomy. That's the main thing. No autonomy. They don't want you to have any control over your own self, and it's your labor. You know, and that's just a colonizing mindset, and we still dealing with that same legacy. They can't let go. You know, you see it on the international stage. You see it with China. You know how they not in no position to push up on somebody, and then they pushed up on the wrong person and caught that middle finger. You know, now they scrambling trying to figure out let's make a deal. You know, it's just ridiculous. If you had respected the people in the first place and sat down like gentlemen, you know, of equal power, then you wouldn't have had all this drama over a trade deal.
Well, let's talk about. I want to stay on the equal power, and I know y'all. We usually talk women's hoops, but I'm sorry. We in this groove right here, and we got Political Lil up here, and Political Lil talk poly sports, everything. So y'all just take this ride with us. I promise you, we gonna get back to this basketball conversation, but I want to stay right here for a minute. When we think about the Mannings, right? Okay, forget the Mannings. Well, I'm gonna get back to them. I'm gonna circle back to them. I want to approach it this way. When you think about Deion Sanders, it's funny. Before Deion got ready to coach at Colorado and have his sons go to the NFL and potentially coach in the NFL, if you ask people would tell you Deion Sanders was the greatest cornerback to play the game. Cannot talk about the NFL and the history of the NFL without talking about Deion Sanders. One of the top 100 players ever played the game, as far as I'm concerned. Now, compare that to who is Archie Manning. And I'm not saying Archie Manning. I'm not saying that Archie Manning didn't do what Archie Manning did. But he wasn't no Deion Sanders, right? Mm-mm. He wasn't no Deion Sanders. But Archie had the right to come in there and say, well, if you don't do this and well, Eli ain't going over there and Peyton ain't going over there. Now, one of the greatest to ever do this thing. one of the greatest to ever do this thing, and one of the most successful to ever do this thing, right? Because Deion made a lot of money with his legs. Say, hey, I'm gonna speak on a couple places that my son shouldn't go to. Leo, can you help me understand the difference between Deion Sanders doing it and Archie Manning doing it, and why it's acceptable? I mean, I know why, but can you break it down for the people?
It's the power hierarchy. You know, whites at the top, blacks tethered to the bottom. So, you know, they own and control. And see, in capitalism, nothing matters but what you own and control. So he can buck against the system. Manning can buck against the system because he's one of them. You know, he can be a broker for his son. But if I have owned you since your inception into this country, then the ownership, you know, as far as they're concerned, the ownership equation has never changed. So it's still that, okay, I got a gate. Only way you can get in this gate is if you do what I say. You jump when I say jump, run when I say run. You know, and you have no agency or autonomy to make a decision for yourself. And that's what the problem is.
Well, see, this is what I'm saying. Here we go. Now we talking about the goalpost movement. I'm glad that's what you said. I'm gonna tell you when to run. I'm gonna tell you when to jump. I'm gonna tell you when to throw. Right? So the man say, okay, when you said run, he ran. When you said throw, he threw. He threw for more touchdowns than anybody else at Colorado. He got more yards than anybody else ever threw the football at Colorado, and he did it in 2 years. It took people 4 years. All them names that they get to calling, yeah. He did it. It took him only 2 years. But then people looking around talking about he not a top 5. He not a top 5 pick. He not top 10 in the NFL draft. How not? How not? He was all the way up until the time you thought about you was going to have to pay him.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know how much of this is about Deion and why about Deion, because you can't control Deion now. Deion had played in the league. You gave him a gold jacket. He got a gold jacket you can't take back. You don't get that back. He a Hall of Famer. He not playing no more football for y'all. So why is this looked at like a way to get back at Deion? What is this meant to do to Deion? Because every time I look at Deion, he's signing all the deals he want to sign. He going to all the places he want to play. All the shoes he wanted. He doing everything he want to do. And you know what else, Leo? They kill him. The kids keep coming.
Mm-hmm.
The kids keep coming. Every time they try to say something about why they not coming, oh well, Shedeur ain't gonna be there. But that's okay. There's more talent coming there. So what is it about? What is it that they want to control with Deion? Because he got the money. What is it?
It's fear and threat. Okay, they fear him, and he's a threat to the sport even of college. See, it's always a primary target, and then there's always a secondary target. He's the primary target to stop it at this gate. But there's the gate behind him where he coaches college basketball. This is a ploy to keep him from getting the best talent. The talent is being scared away. So in other words, I'm going to set this up where Deion has no power to get you in the league like Nick Saban could get you in the league. You see what I'm saying? Nick Saban had a pipeline to the NFL. This is why he was able to get the cream of the crop talent to come to his school, because even though he wasn't paying you one nickel, he could almost guarantee you through his relationships and access that he could get you into the pros in a position that could help you establish and advance a career. And that's the power they don't want Deion to have.
But here's the kicker in all that, right? All the talent that was available from Colorado, I think this year got picked up. It was just Colorado players going everywhere. Look like Jacksonville turned into Colorado.
Yeah, but look where they got picked up at, the low end of the totem pole.
But guess what though? You picked him up there, right? Okay. I'm gonna have to take the short money right now, but I'm also on a short contract. And so after I get finished making this short money with this great talent I got, when you come back around to see me, see now we talking. Because see, now you want me to stay. I ain't got no hometown discounts.
Mm-hmm.
I get to move around. So while everybody went ahead of Shedeur. Everybody went ahead of Shedeur. Fifth round, his contract will be shorter. His money is shorter, for sure. Money is shorter.
No
The
guarantee.
no guarantee, but the blessing for him is that he's already built a brand.
Mm-hmm.
And see, now we get into the power shift. Because no matter where you drafted him at, that jersey gonna sell. You'd have made back what you gonna pay him 10 times over probably in jersey sales. I don't even know how many jerseys he sell, but I'm sure he's top 5 if he not the number 1 selling jersey out of people drafted this year. And y'all help me out in the chat. Y'all help me out in the chat about them jersey sales. You think they not coming to see? You think they not coming to see Shedeur? You think they not? You think they not coming to see Shiloh?
They coming to see
You
him.
think they not coming to see Travis? Right? You think they not? You know, they're these players, and this is kind of along the same lines as Dawn. You saw Pow out there looking like she should have been a top 5 pick.
Mm-hmm.
Went in the second round, trying to teach Dawn a lesson. But you can't hurt Dawn, and you can't stop greatness.
Mm-hmm.
When they get their chance, they're gonna be who they're supposed to be. Shedeur is gonna be who he's supposed to be. And they say it best: delayed, not denied. Right? Delayed, not denied. So okay, you held him back from getting his money. When he get finished doing all of this, now what? And you know what's crazy? By the time he gets to sign his big deal, what you think the going rate gonna be for a quarterback? It might be all the way up about $1 billion or something crazy.
It's gonna be 70, 80 million maybe a year. You know.
How many years are you signing for? Because once you see what he able to do, you ain't gonna want to let him go. You ain't gonna want to let him go. So what are we talking about? When we talk about this control, right? When we talk about when we talk about limiting these kids, especially in this NIL era, right, where they are brands, how does that poke holes in this process? How should they be leveraging that so that they're not held back or held down? Okay, y'all say the Power Five didn't want to give Dion a head coaching job. Bottom line, no, they didn't want to give him a head coaching job, but they also don't want Dion to get in the NFL. Y'all know I keep calling for Dion to go to the NFL. In my mind, I want Dion to go to the NFL, coach his sons and all the Colorado Buffaloes, and just keep winning all the Super Bowls. That in my mind, that's how I want it to go. I ain't gonna hold you up. I'm gonna hold y'all up. Y'all tell me over under on Shedeur Sanders actually winning the Super Bowl. We got a special guest coming to the board. Mr. Shake My Hand himself. RobDaManMedia.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Somebody must have heard me talking Colorado and said they got to pull up.
Yeah.
Somebody heard we was talking Colorado and said they got to pull up. Run them lights up, y'all. What you got, Rob? Let's go.
We talking about the unspoken truth about Shedeur Sanders. We got to keep things real about it, right? The biggest part that they didn't like is the bagging behind Shedeur Sanders. The people that's really behind Shedeur Sanders, the CU aunties, the brand, the marketing, everything that Shedeur stands for, they didn't like it because his brand, they didn't want his brand to be bigger than the NFL's. Nobody comes before the shield. That's the real unspoken truth. The piece of why they was trying to humble us because the brand, the marketing, anything that you associated with Colorado, Shedeur Sanders, Deion Sanders, you name it, it's doing numbers. It's doing headlines. It's doing waves. And it's showing you right now with how you can just say Shedeur Sanders and how it's going to move headlines, move waves. So now you're trying to control it. You're trying to minimize it, right? So we going to try to downplay him, right? But if you was really trying to hurt Colorado, if you was really trying to hurt Coach Prime, you wouldn't have drafted Travis second. You wouldn't have had the team draft up for him to take him second. So it was more about taking the power from Deion Sanders to show him, hey, man, we don't want this, to now seeing, now that y'all did that, now watch where the people bag up for real now. Now you finna see everything that we done built up from coming to JSU to Colorado to now in the league. Now we finna show you what that looks like. How about what shallow jerseys look like? What about Travis jersey? What about BJ Green? What about Cam, right? All these other players that's in the league on Colorado, they jersey sales finna go through the roofs too. Because of the bagging of the support system that they didn't want, now they finna go support it. So now who really look genius in the situation? But here's what's gonna hurt your pockets at. Yeah, you didn't pay them on the front side, you're gonna have to pay it on the back side.
Well, I said.
Yep, so save up.
But let's talk about. I want to back up. I want to ask you a question.
I'm gonna say this. This is how they saving their pennies right now, because they getting all the money on the front side, so they can be able to pay that on the back side. Hey, if I can't make them, if I don't have the money right now to get you, it's kind of like how Colorado didn't have the money to pay Prime when he first got there, so they had to build it up for them to make the money for them to pay him. So now they reward him with a bigger contract. So now guess what? Hey, we ain't got the money to pay Shedeur Sanders right now because we're paying this quarterback that's injured, that's hurt, all these millions of dollars, and he ain't even performing. So now anything that Shedeur Sanders does is just icing on the cake. So now we can save our money. So when we have to go pay him that $300 to $500 million contract, we got the money for it.
But Rob, is it fair for you to exploit another black man to pay for a poor decision you made in paying Watson? Because I mean, I don't see the fairness in that. And then the fact that you trying to humiliate this man, just so you can come up with a scheme, to cover a loss that you shouldn't have really been involved in. It makes me think that there was something behind Watson getting paid. There had to be something politically behind that.
I don't even take Watson into consideration. You got to think about all the teams that don't got a quarterback. Like even the Saints right now. The Saints bumping their head against the wall right now because they quarterback all of a sudden just retired on them. Man, y'all knew that. Now y'all want to bump y'all head and get mad to the media because y'all quarterback retired. Y'all could have had Shedeur Sanders, who y'all say that y'all was in love with, that y'all didn't take. Come on, man. Let's be real. Y'all didn't want to take him because if your quarterback make any mistake, everybody's calling for Shedeur. He got too big of a following for y'all to. It's the same sentence like when Tim Tebow came into the league. How people. Oh.
I can hear you.
Okay, it was just like that when Tim Tebow came to the league. That's then the third. So when you talk about what's going on right now, and you looking at the grand scheme of things, this is why. It's because they trying to slow down, but what you're doing is you're elevating Shedeur Sanders even more, and all we're doing is saying, "Hey, man, we shaking y'all hands and we just smiling in y'all faces saying thank you, because we know you're gonna have to pay up. It's coming."
Okay, so let's go back because you were saying about his brand being bigger than the Shield. Okay, so here's the thing: the NFL's thing has always been nobody is bigger than the Shield. How does this change now? Because now we're gonna start seeing these young men, and some of them are gonna be, a lot of them are gonna be black athletes that are gonna be coming with brands bigger than the Shield. How do they fix that in partner? Is a question to both of y'all.
You're never going to be bigger than the Shield. Like anytime you think that you're gonna be bigger than the Shield, they're going to try to find some way to knock you down. There's going to be some information that come out that ain't got nothing to do with nobody's business, but they're gonna put it out there so they can slow you down. But the thing of it is, you can't slow down what God is already telling you what it is. You can't. It's what it is. You just gotta let it go. And so that's why I use the example of Tim Tebow from a different side of things. Of when Tim Tebow came out, everybody looked at Tim Tebow that he was bigger than the brand. So guess what, man? We gonna homer you down so you can go to the 25th pick to Denver. Now he gets to Denver, he's not even supposed to be on the field. But guess what? Every play the starter makes, they coming for Tebow to come in. It's gonna be the same thing that happens in Cleveland. You got Joe Flacco there. Every mistake that he makes, there's going to be, hey, Shedeur Sanders. It's Shedeur Sanders. If we lose the game, Shedeur Sanders. Like, that's all you're going to be talking about. So they're going to put the pressure for you to hey, you got to play this kid. Hey, the market is here. The people come to see them, right? And so how long can you hold on to that until people stop showing up? You know,
Well, that's the.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying it's just a pure marketing thing, right? How many weeks can we get away with it until we have to do something? Everybody know what it is and what it ain't, what it could be, what it should be. Everybody know if you put Shedeur Sanders the number one QB right now on the Cleveland Browns, what that's gonna look like, right? But we want you to earn it like everybody else that comes to the league. We want you to earn it. So his greatness, all the preparation, all the hours, the blood, the sweat, the tears that he put in, it's gonna show off. All we gotta do is just sit back and just be patient with the process and let it happen.
It kind of reminds you a little bit of how Angel Reese came in the league. You know, bigger following than the WNBA, you know, initially had. And and this is why Nick Saban, and I just had to bring up his slick self. This is why he is up there with Trump. They're trying to come up with an executive order to kill the NIL, you know, put a cap on it.
I'm glad you brought that up. Let's talk about it. Hey, Mr. Shake My Hand, you said that the envelopes was there before. Can you kill NIL now that it's here? Let's NIL Shedeur, can you kill it? Let's go.
You can't kill it. Here's what I'll say to you is this. You know why everybody's afraid of Shedeur Sanders for real? Because Shedeur Sanders has more followers than majority of these NFL franchises' social media channels. Look it up. It's out there. If you look at Cleveland's social media platform, Shedeur Sanders has more following than the Cleveland Browns social media. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube channel is they got like Shedeur Sanders has more following than all of them. Like, so now, damn, we gotta push it, right? So now everything that you see Cleveland push is Shedeur Sanders. Cause it's like, damn, we can't deny it because when we post him, this thing to 100,000 views in 10 seconds. We post anybody else, we get 10K. The money telling you where we gotta go. What we doing? They ain't nothing to talk about. So when you talk about the NIL situation and building a brand, now here's what I'll say that's gonna kill a lot of people in college, right? Understand how to leverage your brand in college before you get to the NFL. Because if you make any mistakes in this NIL era in college, it's going to hurt you in the future. And I'm gonna give you a prime example. When you talk about Nico, the quarterback at Tennessee, and them trying to leverage a contract to get more money and end up getting less money, about the same money he got at Tennessee to go to UCLA, that's gonna hurt him in the NFL. Because now we already know how to deal with you. We know you're not that smart and you don't have the right people in the room to go with you. So now let's show you what that looks like. So it can hurt you, but you also better understand you better have the right people in your pocket to understand how to move them, how to matriculate things. And that's why I told Cess, you know what I'm saying? We got a quarterback at Colorado named Juju Lewis. He on the way. Is that me? Is that somebody's background?
I can still hear you.
Oh, somebody's background super loud.
I'm on mute. Lil, hit your mute for me.
Okay.
Let me see. It might be StreamYard. I don't know.
No, it was.
Oh, no, I think it's Lil. Lil, you might want to go out and come back in.
Yeah, the background was like that. So I was like, man,
your background, something going on. So go out and come back into the stream for us.
Yeah. So when you look at it, it's not gonna kill NIL. It's gonna uplift NIL, but what it's gonna also understand, it's gonna put a lot of pressure on people to understand that you need the right team around you. You need the right people that can push your brand and understand how to push your brand and lead your brand into the right direction. Right. Here's what I'll say. Right. Travis and Shedeur had the same representation, the same marketing, the same everything through the process, right? But it didn't kill Travis Hunter. It only killed Shedeur. Tell me why.
Because Travis went to the draft?
Outside of him going to the draft, they had the same information, met with the same teams, went to dinner with the same teams. Everything was the same. So why did Shedeur over Travis, right?
Well, part of it is just it's Deion too, though, right? Part of it's Dion to me. Part of it is just want to keep him in his place. That's all I could think of. I was floored. I didn't. Okay, look. Okay, the first day it was like, okay, I get it. Okay, this is cute. We gon' we gonna teach him a lesson. We gonna keep people watching. All of that. So where do we where do we draw the line? Okay, I get it. They wanted to make some money off of him every round, but at what point is it like? Because he didn't make no money off of that. So at what point is it like a punishment almost?
But he did make money. See, that's the thing. You look at it the wrong way, and everybody look at the situation. We got to prove them wrong. No, we proving them right. And here's how we proving them right. You know, you made us sit to the 5th round because guess what? If you make us sit to the 5th round, you keep the attendance of people watching the draft because all they care about is what we get drafted at, right? So yeah, you got the 1st round, everything's high. I get you to come back the 2nd, 3rd round, everything's high. Now I get you to buy into the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round, right? All you did was help his merchandise sell out faster because you tried to punish him, but he made more money in the process because he went in the 5th round. And guess what? Everybody that y'all tried to push up with, they had the top jersey sales because they had 48 hours on Shedeur with their product pushed out. Guess what? He caught them and surpassed them. So you can say you trying to punish him and things like that. All we doing is proving people right and how we want to go through it. So yeah, you did wrong, but guess what? What that wrong that you did gave me a bigger paycheck because now I got the support of my people plus your people because they see what you tried to do and the image that you tried to present on us. You ain't never heard about Shedeur Sanders getting in trouble. You ain't never heard about Shedeur Sanders drinking, driving, any domestic violence charges. None of that. You always seen Shedeur. You always seen Shedeur at a school going to hang out with the little kids, going to different high schools, this, that, and the third. This ain't nothing new. Don't try to wait till we get to Cleveland and be like, oh man, he's trying to put all this stuff on. Get the hell out of here with that. He's been doing that. He's doing that at Jackson State. He did it in Colorado. Now he's doing it in the NFL. Ain't nothing that he's doing that's different. It's just y'all are just seeing it different. That's all.
Yeah, a lot of times, it can have a effect on the person that when you mistreat somebody and they see this publicly, then you have people that come to that person's rescue that normally wouldn't have been even thinking about the young man, and that's what we're seeing here. Yeah, he's gonna do tremendous numbers, with the marketing, and people are gonna be very, very critical of the NFL period. NFL do a lot of little underhanded things, and they keep a lot of stuff quiet.
Hey, TK, he already had that Nike deal signed. He already had a Gatorade deal signed. If I can go down the list of everything that he signed before he even got even think about draft day. All that stuff was already done. He already had a partnership with Nike.
But they're gonna give the credit to the draft day though. Yeah. They're gonna make you think that it was the draft day. Mm-hmm. They're gonna make you think that he couldn't go and negotiate them deals, but on his own. But ain't that the point of here's the thing. When you got a father that's been through it, let's think about it. We hadn't seen nothing like Deion primetime before he came here. He came here with 2 nicknames. Dude came here with 2 nicknames. He was a marketing genius. Why would you think they would be anything less? Go ahead.
I'll just say this to you. What other NFL prospect had already made millions of dollars, $20+ million, right? I know what the real number is, but I'm not gonna put that number up. How many prospects have come in and already made $20+ million before they walk into the NFL?
We haven't seen that. We haven't seen that before.
Okay, so
we haven't seen that. We have not as far as I know. We haven't seen that before. 149 in the chat, y'all. Run these likes up. Let's go. We cooking, and I promise y'all, we will have the WNBA conversation on Thursday. But we cooking on Shedeur and the NFL. So let's rock.
So what I'm saying to you is in that situation, when you ain't never seen somebody come into the league with already $20+ million, and you can't tell me what the hell you want to tell me. Don't get mad. Don't get mad at me because I'm confident and I built the brand and I know what I can do on the field. Mm-hmm. You can't get mad at me for that because I'm a confident black man. You can't. All
Let's
you
talk
can
about
do is
confidence.
all you can do is come in here and watch me and let me show you how much I could bring your losing franchise into a winning franchise, because I know what that looks like. I done done that. You want the proven track record, right? We can go to high school, we can go to JSU, we can go to Colorado. Everywhere I stopped there was a losing. It was a losing product before I got there. And when I walked out that door, it was a winning product. So talk to me about it.
Let's talk about confidence and breaking confidence, and why seeing a young black male or female confident is such a threat, right? We saw in the movie the Serena in the movie. He asked Venus that question. I'm gonna ask Venus that question. She said, "Because I can beat her. Because I can." That man said, "Why you think that? Stop asking her that question like that. She told you trying to break her confidence." Let's talk about let's talk about what is the threat with being confident in the skill set that you worked your ass off to get. Why is that so threatening, especially for a Shedeur Sanders or Serena Williams? I want to hear from both of y'all. Let's go.
Go ahead, political. Go ahead.
It's if you confident, it's hard to control you. I give you a good example. When I was in the military, I was an officer and very competent and confident in my ability to do my job. I never had so many senior officers trying to knock me down because I could because I could perform the job. And I found that just absolutely mind blowing. I'm like, I don't need you to tell me how to do my job. I have the skills. I'm doing the job. I'm able to perform. I'm accomplishing this and accomplishing that. And for some reason, these gatekeepers were still mouth poked out, mad. Because, see, they want to be able to come and control you, and they want to own your success. And that's kind of what it comes down to. They want to say they the reason behind your success.
But his daddy named Deion Sanders.
They don't care about
How
that.
you gonna own his success? This one, but there's my point. The reason that the Mannings are the first family of football is because Archie did this, and Peyton did this, and Eli did this, and young Arch gonna do this next, right? So Deion did what he did, one of the greatest to ever do it. Why would you expect any less from Shedeur and Shiloh after what you've seen from them in college? I'm not even just talking about on them being the Sanders. You seen how hard they work and how they approach. And I cut you off on answer the other question, but I got to hear from y'all.
So check this out, right? What's the difference from what Manny and them did and told them that they weren't going to this goddamn team to go to that team than what Shedeur and them did? All they did was told you they weren't going to the draft.
Right. They didn't even say what. Like they just didn't go. They didn't go to the party so you could put them on Front Street.
That's it, right? And so then line this up, right? Every quarterback that got selected, y'all didn't have now one negative thing to say. But when Shedeur Sanders got drafted, before he even got drafted, y'all had every negative thing to say about Shedeur Sanders that had nothing to do with no goddamn football. But when everybody else that got drafted before him, y'all had nothing but praise. Y'all didn't have no negativity to say about them. But we're going to see how they all line up. We're going to see it all play up. Because guess what? You just put more pressure on that back than you did on Shedeur, right? Because you're not expecting anything from Shedeur. Based upon what you're saying, he's a 5th-round draft pick, right? You're not expecting nothing from him.
What?
So let's see what y'all hold against some other ones.
What, bro? Soon as Shedeur throw a ball shorter than the first down, they can be saying, "See, we told you he wasn't that good. Let him throw an interception." What? The goalpost. They just waiting to move that goalpost. They can move that goalpost around.
Well, based upon how they said he's a 5th-round draft pick, and we all know that he's not, you shouldn't be expecting anything. So whatever you get from Shedeur this year, it's just icing on the cake, baby. It's just icing on the cake. But we know what's gonna happen, right? When the success start coming, he throw that first touchdown. He completes 72% of his passes for the season. We know what that's gonna look like.
He getting ready to be a 5th-round pick held to first round standard. You better believe it. He getting ready to be a 5th-round pick held to first-round standards for the rest of his career. For the rest of his career. But the crazy part and the thing that they don't know is he built for it. Shedeur Sanders built for this.
Hey, listen.
Deion Sanders didn't just become his daddy. Deion been his daddy his whole life.
I think the thing that people don't realize when they say, "Hey, Shedeur is quote unquote a backup quarterback," do you not know Shedeur Sanders been in the spotlight more than any quarterback that's been drafted in the draft?
Absolutely.
Do that not resonate with you that I can handle this pressure? I know what the big lights feel like. I know what. Listen, let me tell you this. Shedeur Sanders is the only quarterback that was in the draft that played it almost damn near every year without a goddamn offensive line and still put up the numbers that he put up with. So just imagine if he had a starting offensive line, what that looks like, right? So when you go draft these quarterbacks that you quote unquote say that's better than him, and then you're gonna say, hey, they had an offensive line. So what does it look like if they get into the NFL and they got an offensive line? Because I can show you one what it looks like without an offensive line. So just imagine when he get an offensive line, what he's gonna look like then.
Mm-hmm.
But you're gonna try about the offensive line.
But you're gonna try to sell me. But listen,
they don't want to hear that.
You're gonna try to sell me that this quarterback is better than Shedeur when all his life he had an offensive line in front of him and he still couldn't complete over 65% of his passes. Come on, let's talk about it. Let's talk the real truth.
Let's go. This is what we're here for. This is the what the fuck, America. Let's tell the truth. This is the show for it. This is the conversation. Let's go. This is what we're here for. So let's have the conversation. Okay, yeah, without injury. I mean, the kid is tough too. He's tough. You no injury. I agree with that.
And you got to understand, that's another thing. You got a lot of former players in a lot of sports whose children are entering these pro leagues. You got to know that they done had the best training. They done had top-notch physical training along with nutrition and this, that, and the other, because their parents have been through the system. They know how to prepare their children. And that may be something that, that seems to be bothersome. How could you expect as great a player as Deion Sanders was, how can you expect his children, if they have athletic talent, not to come out and be great when they had the benefits? You go back to LeBron James' son, Bronny. I mean, come on. You got arguably one of the best players in the world as a father. Of course, he's going to train and develop and impart knowledge into you, to be able to come into the pros. And even though he may not be, Derrick Rose pro ready, he's eventually going to become an excellent pro. And it just so happened his father was in a position to give him that opportunity. They seem to not want us to have anything.
No, that's not it. They want to treat everybody like they're Michael Jordan's son. That's the problem, because Michael Jordan's sons were not very successful in the pros. So everybody's thing of it is if you have a pro athlete son, they're gonna probably end up turning out like Michael Jordan's son. That's the problem. And you gotta get out the way of that mindset of first level thinking and look at the traits that translates to the pros. Those are the things when we start looking at the games, we start understanding what's really going on, start to break down the traits and what translates to the next level. Some people might not know that because they might not understand what translates. So I might be too high level thinking and talking to some people right now. So when you start to look at how people translate and what that looks like, hey man, it don't take a rocket scientist to look at film and say, hey, if he had a better offensive line, this is what he could really do. If he had a running game, look how much better his numbers can be. Nobody.
Hey, y'all do me a favor.
Those are things that don't.
5 of y'all to share this out right now. They cooking. 5 of y'all share this out. Let's go.
So I mean, we get it. We understand the play. We understand what's going on with the whole Shedeur Sanders. But what I keep telling people, man, it's not about him going to go prove nobody wrong. We don't need you to prove nobody wrong. We need them. We want to prove everybody right. That's the difference. We trying to prove everybody right. Oh yeah, you was right on cue what you said. Now watch this. And when you watch this, you're gonna have to go back and give you praise. You're gonna have to go and glorify what's happening. Because you can't hide it. You can't duck for it. And then don't come ask for no interview. Don't go ask for no post-game presser. Don't ask for no pre-game presser. When we start cooking, don't ask for it. Because guess what? Remember, you told me I was gonna be a fifth round. I wasn't gonna be here. So don't come back trying to get praise.
Okay, they say I think it's the other way. I think people look at the sons of greats and put the pressure that they have to be their father. I mean, I guess. Thank you, Officer T. Davis. Drop share it in the chat after you share it. Make sure y'all join that VIP so y'all don't miss the VIP content like this that we got coming for y'all. But when we talk about what Deion is building, right? Don't they understand this is just the beginning? This is just the beginning.
Listen, I'm telling you right now, you can book it, you can mark it, you can write it down however you want. We will have the number 1 overall pick in 27. Mark my words. Jordan Seaton, the left tackle at University of Colorado, will be the first pick. Don't worry about
You
it.
said 27. Okay, so check this out. But here's the other piece of it. It's not stopping the kids from coming to Deion. Right? So you think, oh man, Shedeur, he dropped to the 5th round.
Yeah,
So
but that was the original. That was the plan. But
that was the
how many
plan.
more people?
Effect.
Right,
Listen,
let's talk about it. How many more kids you think was like, man, let me put Colorado on my list based on what Deion did last year?
I says they know. Well, see, people not dumb. When you just did what you did to Shedeur, you just elevated Colorado.
Yeah.
Guess what?
Let's talk.
Exactly.
Guess what? We've had 17 official visits in 2 weeks. We only had 16 the entire year last year. So you did what you did, and you got us more official visits. And I'm talking about blue chip recruit players, not some low level you don't ever heard of. I'm talking about the high level high school players that's coming. So what did you really do? What you really did was just build the platform for us to shine even brighter because you wanted to be done. So all the motion that you tried to stop for Colorado, you really just helped Colorado in a sense and just moved us up into a bigger place. So just keep doing what you're doing. We here for it. So now we keep building these bricks on top of bricks on top of bricks. Guess what? You're gonna turn into a fan. So this up.
Well, here's the other part. Here's the other piece of that. What do you do what are they gonna do when he really has the power? Right? Like, here's the thing. His work ethic says to me, with an offensive line, he's gonna find success. So what does that mean? That means that he's gonna rival the Lamar Jacksons. He's gonna rival the kid at Buffalo. He's gonna rival my man at Kansas City. I'm not a fan, so I try not to even. But he's gonna rival these folks, right? But what are they gonna do when he's sitting across the table now, a bigger brand than he was when you tried to humble him, right? A bigger fan base than he had professionally when you tried to put him in his place. Now what? Because his daddy's still the same. His daddy ain't going nowhere. His brother not going nowhere. So now what? At some point, you're gonna have to pay the piper with this kid.
Oh, they know that.
How do you partner with him?
You think
he's not trying to be bigger? He ain't trying to be bigger than the brand. There's not. You have no proof where you show where you can tell me, you know what, man, that kid ain't got no respect for the NFL, man. Look at him trying to be bigger than the Shield.
Hey, you tell me.
And there's no proof of that out there. Go ahead.
I'll tell you this. You tell me a brand that ain't trying to sign Shedeur Sanders right now, and I'll tell you how much they lying.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know they call him. He probably hanging up on people. I imagine Deion is hanging up on kids because he just can't talk to that many. Man, there's only so many spots on the roster, man. Move around.
Right? I listen. When you get into a conversation where now you can start hanging up on folks and because it's too much overwhelming, you're in a good spot. Hey man, we don't need to take a chance on a kid for what? We got this. Oh, we got this coming in. What we need to talk to them for? Oh, you want to talk about some bull crap? Okay, cool. Hang up, click, take them off the board. We got somebody else to replace it. So when you look at it, tell me somebody that they don't want to do a deal with Shedeur Sanders, and I'll tell you that they lie.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think Deion is planning his own lawsuit behind the scenes?
No, you don't need to. Here's the thing. Deion does not need the money. So if somebody want to go out and put a lawsuit on NFL, like there is somebody that actually is out there trying to do it.
So
because of
there's a lawsuit
out there.
But is the lawsuit about the money, or is it about calling the attention to the bullshit narrative and calling out what's taking place to be able to shine the light on that, to be able to try to move the needle and make some change right there? To me, if you allow them to just pay it off, they can just pay it off the next time. It can't be about the money. It's got to be about change. It's got to be about the change. Come on.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I think that lawsuit is one of the biggest civil rights issues that's gonna be for these times. The fans, these are the people that's paying for you to be able to make $20 billion a year. You out here putting out a substandard product, but claiming that you putting the most talented people on the field, and the fans are realizing that's not the truth. You know, there was no reason to see. The president got up there and said, I'm getting rid of DEI and all this kind of, because we're going to do a meritocracy. You know, we ain't never had a meritocracy, but anyway, that's what he said. So if you're doing things based on merit, then there's no way this man comes in the 5th round. That makes it discriminatory.
I've got to ask you a question, because you brought him up. We don't even usually talk. What is he, 47? Is that him? We don't even usually talk him up here. But did it help or hurt him commenting on Shedeur Sanders? Like, let's think about that. The president of the United States had time to comment on Shedeur Sanders being not drafted. That's how big of a brand he is. Listen to what I'm saying to you. Listen to what I'm saying to you. The 47 took time out of his day more than one time to say, draft the kid. I can't believe he ain't been drafted. He drafted him. What the hell you waiting on? Draft him. That's how big of a brand he is.
But think about it. What league is more politically tied to the politics in Washington than the NFL? No league.
None.
And they connected to the military. That's your other power source.
And that's why him being mentioned in that to me says he could possibly have a brand bigger than his daddy's.
All right, listen.
I don't know.
I'm gonna say this: the real reason why President 47 said what he said,
007,
because he wants an NFL franchise when he's done being the president. That's all. That's all that was about.
Sure.
It was. He was looking at his bottom line, right? Us. Right. If you don't listen, you lucky I'm not an NFL owner, because if I was an NFL owner, I'd have been got him, and I would have made you suffer, and I would have made billions off of you. That's what he's saying.
But you know what that is? That's the business side of 47. He the bottom line of 47 said, "Hey, man, you hire a kid like that,
need dollars.
That's a cash cow right there. That's how you looking at it, like a cash cow. I can make a whole lot of money off him and with him." Man, y'all hear what I said? I said 47 was talking about. That's how big of a brand this kid. How old is Shedeur? Is Shedeur 22 yet?
22, I think.
Yeah, he just turned 22.
Okay, at 22. At 22, 47 was talking about him. You could say he on some bullshit or whatever. What I'm saying is that he's on 47's radar. I don't give a damn what you think about the politics of it. Think about what I'm saying. He's on his radar at 22. Him and his brand.
I'm telling you right now, you do not want him to get an NFL franchise, because that boy get an NFL franchise, it's gonna be a wrap for a lot of people, because he don't care. He gonna
spend the money.
He gonna spend the money, but he gonna also pay for the people that you don't want to be on the team. He gonna pay for them to be on the team just so you can hate the team that much. So you either buy tickets or you buy merch. He's thinking about the business side. He ain't thinking about nothing strictly on the football field. Just, hey, why is this kid not drafted? Because if I was an owner, I'm getting this kid. There ain't nothing else I'm getting this kid, because guess what? The minute I get this kid, I know season tickets are sold out. I ain't gotta worry about season tickets, right? Now, how do I get the next merch line? Every city we pull up in, I need merch sold at each city. I'm already pushing that headline. So what he did was, hey, Shedeur Sanders, I'm gonna validate you right now. So now, as soon as you get picked, all your merch is already sold out. Now we finna go to a broader audience and not just Cleveland. We finna go to a broader audience. Now we finna take this thing national. So just look how much money Nike just made in that matter of time.
I want you to address this.
Like, it's just that it is. I disagree. Rob Trump just said it's because he's a football fan. He knows he plays. Listen, man. Trump wants to be an NFL owner. I don't know who done lied to you, but Trump wants to be.
Let's go.
Trump wants to be an NFL owner. He's been got denied several times for being an NFL owner. Trust and believe. If he could own the Las Vegas Raiders right now, he will own them right now.
Hey, check this out. Let me ask you this. Let me say this, because everybody keeps saying they won't let him. They want this. They want that. Let me tell you something. He's gonna cut enough deals, and he's gonna do enough things while he's 47. That when he's former 47, they gonna let him be an owner this go around. You better believe it. He's putting himself in position to be an owner in this thing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Let's just keep it a buck. Let's call it what it is. Let's call it what it is. He wants to be an owner.
understand the entertainment game if you don't understand nothing else.
Think about the money in sports right now. You get into one professional league as an owner and move around and get into 2, 3 of them. What does that do for you? What type of generational wealth is that? He already ain't making no more land. Real estate is what it is. They ain't making no more land. But these games, these teams, this entertainment, this thing finna go on and on and on and on. And the NFL is going what? More global every year. I got to wake up earlier and earlier and earlier to watch these football games. Oh, get football game on at 6 o'clock in the morning because they over there and they want me to see Big Ben told and all of that. Hey, listen, this is it, Brent. Okay. I hate to talk to y'all like this, but we family, so I'm gonna say, hey, like Brandon is the new dope game. This is it. This is it. You better own your brand.
I'm gonna say this: the first game Shedeur Sanders has probably publicly come out and say he start. The Browns publicly said come out and start. He probably be there. He'll probably be there. So don't worry about it. If you don't believe me, you ain't got. Listen, I tell anybody, you don't gotta believe me. But when they announced,
Don couldn't get to the Super Bowl, right? Don couldn't get to the Super Bowl because 47 was on the way. Hey, you got to have the airspace cleared up around here. We know you was coming, honey, but cash them tickets in. Throw a party at your house. Because if you ain't here before he get here, the airspace is closed.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he stayed for the whole game.
Nah, you know they got him up out of that thing.
But the ability to be able to. I'm not denying that he's not I understand. We're not saying that he's not a football fan.
I'm not saying that at all. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not saying that. To me, you have to have an interest in football to want to be a owner of a team. But I'm not gonna act like this dude ain't wanted to be Robert Kraft his whole life. Yeah, he wants to be. He wants what my man down in Dallas did. He wants to be a fan that owns a team.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
And the more that you tell him that he can't, the more that he tell you, God damn it, I am.
Yeah.
Watch me. Keep telling him what he can't do. Y'all told him he could be the president again while he was on trial. Y'all told him he couldn't be the president when he got a felony. Y'all told him a lot of stuff. You see him up there? The president, big and bold as shit, ain't he? Okay, stop playing with it. You don't have to believe me. And I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm telling you how this stuff is playing out in our face. He gonna own the team if he want to own the team. He's gonna cut those deals. That's my opinion. Let's go.
But like, let's get back to Shedeur. You know what I'm saying? I wanted, I understand, some people we change the conversation a little bit, but when you look at the broad scale of things, political, with Shedeur, how do you value Shedeur, in a sense? Because I just want the unspoken truth, about Shedeur that a lot of people they scared to talk about. I love to talk about it.
The bottom line is Shedeur is representative of a new generation of black athletes that are different from the old guard. These not only is NIL propelling them and putting them in positions, but they're going to filter into the ownership. This is the group right here, Shedeur now, who going to be owning leagues, owning teams, creating leagues. This is that group. And I think that's the biggest threat beyond his huge marketing base and the fact that sports is so global, and then you got the rise of other nations that they can filter into. We haven't even talked about the rise of athletics in Africa yet. They got the youngest population on the planet. And look at the 1.4 billion people market you got in China. So these athletes that are the cream of the crop, they're a little different. They bold, they coming with it, and they're gonna be in the ownership in the boardrooms pretty soon. That's what's gonna happen.
I got a question for y'all. If Shedeur Sanders' name was Leroy Jones,
not bad.
And his name was Leroy Jones. No offense to no Leroy Joneses out there. I just had something that's not Sanders, right? And he was from a broken home, and his daddy was in prison, and his mama was on dope, and his granny had to raise him, and she did the best she could, and he lived with the coach sometime, and over here with auntie, and just, sometime he was hungry, wearing the same. If that was his story, with all the talent that he just had, he'd have been a number one pick in the draft, wouldn't he?
Oh, absolutely. They want that sorry story. They want that
He'd
sad
been a
story.
number one pick in the draft because they want to sell the narrative of, if you ain't got no daddy, if you ain't got no mama, if you can't figure no other way out, we got you. Come on here. Run, jump, fast as you can, high as you can. Now this man come from, I guess people might say, a broken home or whatever. Co-parenting situation is what I would say. Not broken home, co-parenting. Both his parents involved in his life. Father successful, mother successful.
And
second
he a mama
generation
boy.
Yeah, mama boy through and through. Second generation pro athlete. Educated. You ain't got no perp walk videos of him. You ain't got no crazy TikTok stuff. You ain't got toxic shit about him on the internet. He not good enough. Y'all ain't talking about him. He ain't the one you want to. He ain't the one you want to promote. That's not marketable. Why the hell not? That's what you need to be putting out there.
That's not the role model they want to build. That's not what they want to build.
That's more of a realistic situation. That's more of a realistic picture of what's going on in 2025 than any of these other pictures that they pushing out here. Stop pushing the Claudine narrative on me. Ain't nobody still got the welfare people coming around and counting toothbrushes and all of that at their house, man. People ain't living like that no more. People that moved on from that.
Cess,
come on, let's talk about it. Come on, let's go.
I'm glad you brought that up, right? Because when you look at Travis Hunter, the first thing they wanted to point out about Travis is about his dad being able to get approved to come to the draft.
Right.
Not about what happened on the field, not how good of a person he is, not what he do, you know what I'm saying, outside of football that people don't know how good of a person he is. First thing they talk about his dad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but here's the thing. His daddy made a mistake he paying for.
Right, but see, here's the thing. Before they even got to that, they tried to turn Travis down by his girlfriend, right? They put all these stories about his girlfriend. It's like, damn, do y'all even know this woman? Like, y'all really say y'all know this woman? Like, some of y'all really don't know her. Some of y'all probably ain't never met her, then y'all haven't had a conversation with her. I've been a prone to have a conversation with her in person.
You being nice. You being nice. This is what I told him. The minute he break up with her, y'all all in her DMs. So shut up about who she ain't and what she gonna do and what she chasing and what she trying to get and all that. Because the minute that girl hit single on the TikTok, y'all sliding in the DMs.
They already doing that. Don't worry about it. They already doing it. So the same people that's doing it.
Let young people give it a try. So what? If they throw it all against the wall and it don't work, so what? How many of y'all walking away from relationships? Y'all got relationships right now. People y'all texting right now. Pictures y'all looking at right now. That was the one I let get away. So what? If he take a chance and it don't work, so what? He had the courage to take a chance on it. I'm sick of it. Come on, man. We talking today. Let's go. Let's go.
So put this comment up on the screen, right? I think it's more about protecting him from her, not about him. What are you protecting? Because they like this is the thing about it was she was with him before he even got to Jackson State.
Here we go.
But that go out the window, right? It's just, she just popped up in the picture. She just came to girlfriend at Colorado. When she was there before.
No, they went deeper than that, Rob. They went crazier than that. They said, yeah, but the first time he tried to talk to her, she said she wasn't interested. Then her brother say, well, he gonna be something. And then it was like they put together a plan. So what if they did? Maybe they did. Maybe they did. You see people all the time talk about, you know what, I came over here to do one thing, but I actually like your ass. I don't want to let you go nowhere now. Goodness gracious, I didn't think you were gonna be this cool. Sometimes you go with a certain, you go like, you know what, man, you look like a one kind of thing, one night stand, maybe sometimes you, sometimes me, and find out, you know what, I kind of like you. We like some of the same thing. So what? Exactly, that's a grown man. He got to go lay down with her. Hey, what you do? Man, y'all crazy, man. He don't a bit more care about what y'all, man, you know what he did after y'all talked all that? Man, went and bought him another onesie. He don't give a damn about nothing y'all talking about.
All right, listen. Bought a onesie, playing video games, chilling, going out fishing.
Yeah, what about another onesie? He don't give a damn about what y'all talking about.
Yeah,
In his home state.
but it's things like that. It's like, man, if we couldn't get you then we're gonna try to go to the next thing. But then it's like, damn, we don't got nothing on Shedeur. So what can we say, right? Oh man, we look at how many people following him, and man, he got too much bigger following. Like, do you not know Shedeur Sanders has more following than most NFL teams? Like, that's what you're afraid of. You're afraid of because he has more popularity status than a lot of you NFL teams. What you mad for?
Too. But that's the thing. That's what they worried about now. Now that these people these athletes actually now have individual brands, they showing up with a bigger following than you. And so that's my thing. Like, you have to stop looking at them as some type of product, some type of piece of labor, and look at them as a partner. Because now, okay, so you got 2 million people.
I hold on.
Now I got 7 million people with me. Come on.
Cess, you know what they really mad about? He got more aunties than they got. That's what they mad.
He could.
He do. He got all the aunties now. And now you upset because your favorite auntie like Shedeur Sanders.
That's it. He ain't just talking about your favorite auntie with no tendencies. He's talking about just the aunties out there. You got the Colorado aunties out there. That's the other thing. Didn't Joe Burrow have a huge following?
Not like Shedeur Sanders.
Did Joe have a huge following? Yeah, that's Joe Cool. Not like Shedeur, but he had aunties don't play. The aunties don't play.
I listen.
I've seen him on the videos.
One thing I'll tell you about that, Joe Cool had a following, but he ain't got them CU follow. He ain't got that CU aunties following. He ain't got the aunties following like Shedeur do now.
But I think Joe Cool was one of the first ones in this era that came with like, hey man, his people coming with him. Like, he was one of the first young ones that they had to deal with like that I remember them talking about.
But it's on a steroid level though. Like, it's on a steroid level. You know what I'm saying? You upset because, let's just call it what it is. Your favorite auntie like Shedeur, you know what I'm saying? She like prom, and you hate it. So now you want to take your feelings and emotions out on Shedeur. It's okay. Guess what? The auntie's still gonna be there. They still gonna love on Shedeur. They gonna have a good time. Shedeur gonna be out here, you know what I'm saying, shaking hands, kissing babies, and you just gonna have to deal with it. That's just what it is. Oh, Cleveland loving it. It's everybody else that's outside of Cleveland that's hating it.
I hear you, but I think it's a different reason for their hate for Shedeur. Our nephew should have been a first-round pick. What do you think the hate is for then?
Listen, Shedeur has a bigger presence, a bigger following. When they looked at that shield, they try to say Shedeur was bigger than the brand. So what they try to do, they try to humble him by saying, you know what, we're not going to pick you in the first 4 rounds. We're going to make you suffer through the 5th round, and we're going to help our ratings because guess what? If Shedeur gets picked in that first round, are you really watching the draft after that?
Not one.
Be honest. Be honest with yourself. What's selling for you to come back and watch the draft?
Actually, you're not even watching after the 10th pick.
Come on now, let's get real. Like, the NFL ain't stupid. They understand money. They understand how to leverage money. So if I'm going to leverage money, guess what I'm going to do? Somebody's got to pay the price. Who can afford to pay the price? The person that can afford to pay the price is Shedeur, because he already has $20+ million in the bank. So he can afford to take, hey, if you don't take me the first, second, third, fourth round, guess what? I already made more than all these private players combined in college from NIL money. So by the time I get picked, it ain't gonna really hurt you. It ain't gonna really hurt me like you think it's gonna hurt me. Because guess what? My contract's gonna run faster and you're gonna have to pay me faster. So now, if you try to shortcut and not pay me on the front end, guess what? On that back end, I'm gonna make you really have to pay me. And if you don't want to pay me, guess what? I'm leaving it. Somebody else is gonna pay me.
Mm-hmm.
What do I know?
Well, I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. T. Carmella, confusion between Shedeur and Dylan.
Because Dylan got picked. Dylan was upset they picked Shedeur Sanders, right? So they was confused. What Cleveland should have did was they should have never picked a quarterback, and then it wouldn't even be no confusion. It's just that simple.
Oh, okay. I mean, but you have quarterback. You have a quarterback room. You have a quarterback competition. The best quarterback plays.
Yeah, man.
So you don't want to compete. You don't think you. What I mean, you map for what, man? If it's your job to go get it, go get it.
I mean, you're talking about like a 5'8" quarterback trying to play quarterback in the NFL. Come on, man. What are we talking about?
let's water boy.
Come on, let's move on. Hey, you got with that time.
I guess my other question is like, what is it about what you saw, what people saw out of Shedeur at Colorado that makes you think he's gonna fail in the NFL?
They don't even know.
There's nothing about him that says he's gonna fail.
All right, so listen, he's 5'11", perfect. How tall was Drew Brees? Let me know.
Was Drew 5'10", 5'11"?
He was 5'10" with cleats on, roughly like 5'8", but you put 2 inches of cleats on, he 5'10". What are we really talking about right now? Come on, people. Like, and he led the league in passing. Like, what are we talking about right now?
No, I mean the next thing is gonna be is that Shedeur don't run. It's gonna be he's not a running quarterback. That's gonna be the next thing that they complain about.
Cool. Was Tom Brady?
Doug Flutie was small as hell too.
Was Tom Brady, a running quarterback? Was Peyton Manning a running quarterback? Was Drew Brees a running quarterback? Like I could go on and on and on and on.
No. But what they gonna be talking about now? What they gonna be talking about now is Patty Mahomes. He do his thing, but then Lamar is moving. Watson was moving. Who's some of these other quarterbacks that they say got legs? So
I mean, but it's a difference between a scrambling and a running.
What was crazy is that the knock on black quarterbacks used to be that they couldn't just drop back and stand in the pocket and throw the ball. Now he dropped back and be a traditional quarterback and stand back there and let that thing go. It's like, but he ain't running around. I mean, come on, y'all, make y'all mind.
All right. Oh, so check this out. If y'all really think that Dylan is 5'11", okay, then Shedeur 6'3". Like, bro, just go look at any pictures of all the quarterbacks that they took today, all the quarterbacks standing next to each other, and you tell me that's 5'11". I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Okay, I just stood next to him. I know how tall I am, right? And I know how tall Dylan is, and he's not what they list on out there. It's just not that. It's not his accurate height. But what do I know?
MJ, I thought that you knew that already. That they had took Pete off the ban list today. I thought that's why you said that. That was hilarious. Wasn't that Cam problem? And I want y'all to stop saying Patrick Mahomes ain't nothing black about him, but his daddy. Sorry, not sorry. Hey, I just mentioned him out there because he's the new GOAT. He's the new GOAT as they crowned him. He's the new GOAT. That's the only reason I bring him up. But how long do y'all think it's gonna take for Shedeur's name to get in the conversation with those names? How long do y'all think it's gonna take for him to start?
He's got to win first, right? That's the first piece about Shedeur is coming in, like, let's finish the deal, let's get it done, let's get through fall camp, right? Is he gonna initially start? I'm gonna tell you no, he's not, right? But any mistake Joe Flacco makes, or they start 0-3, you can believe Shedeur Sanders is going to be on the way. They're going to be coming for Shedeur Sanders, and they're not going to stop until you bench Joe Flacco. So for me, when you talk about being the GOAT conversation, you got to win playoff games, right? Because what GOAT status for in Cleveland looks like versus everywhere else looks like, it's completely different. Because if you look at the history of Cleveland, as far as the playoffs, talk about playoffs, they don't have a good history of that. So you go win 2 or 3 games in the playoffs, they might treat you as the GOAT in Cleveland. But for my standards, you got to get to a Super Bowl. You got to get to some Super Bowls. You got to
Jermaine Smith.
You got to get there and win some Super Bowls. That's for me.
Jermaine Smith, I'm on the same page as you. I thought I was expecting Shedeur to come in and beat Flacco out by the time the season ready to start. That's what I was thinking.
You can't do that. You got to play the politics game now. There's still politics being played in this situation.
I know. Flacco is they man. Real talk. I know, and they serious about it, but still.
Listen, if you take the politics out and you just talk about football, hey, we need to go out here. Who gonna sell tickets? Who everybody come to see? Yeah, that's Shedeur Sanders. But when you talk about the politics side, you add that into the equation, they're gonna start Joe Flacco. You know what I'm saying? Because they're gonna try to stick it to somebody.
Exactly. So I mean, this conversation started out one place and it went all the way football. So we will get back to the WNBA conversation on Thursday. We will pick that conversation back up. But once we got going on this Shedeur conversation, it was like, hey, let's have this conversation, because I think it's an important conversation, and it's something, especially as NIL is becoming more prominent. We got revenue sharing coming in. How do you manage these things? How do you recognize these things? How do you prepare your brand to be able to be successful in this new era, right? And so I think at some point Shedeur Sanders and his falling in the draft and everything will probably be a business case study, if not a business loss case study as well, right? So because it's gonna be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see how much money it costs them, how much money they think it cost them at the beginning versus how much it's going to cost them in the end when they have to pay them, because the price is going to go up. Yesterday's prices ain't today's prices, baby.
You know what I was thinking about? As you were saying, I was thinking about one thing. If I was anybody in this chat right now, I'll be writing down, documenting everything from the start of the NFL into about 3 years, and just write a documentary about this from now to 3 years about Shedeur Sanders, and just go out and post it and see what it do for you. Just document everything that you see. 5th round draft pick 144. Come in the training camp as a 4th on the depth chart quarterback, and then watch how his career grow. And in 3 years, watch what it do for you.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the bottom line is these athletes, they not shrinking. You know, they bold, they business minded, and they're gonna be themselves. And that's what I really like about Shedeur. He's just been on a steady, never changing, not flinching. Yeah. And that's a threat in itself. Just refusing to, shrink themselves.
All right, listen, I'm telling y'all this for a reason. Don't let ESPN write 30 for 30 special on it when you could be in the front line of it.
Mm-hmm. Take advantage of that. Yeah, if it's y'all first time here, I appreciate y'all pulling up. Hit that subscribe button. I don't know what y'all waiting on. Y'all don't want to miss the next drop. Make sure you on that VIP member list. Don't miss the VIP drops. We back tomorrow with Hot Takes Wednesday. We'll be back Thursday to finish the conversation about just the power struggle for black athletes and black athleticism and the ownership of black excellence in the with more of a focus on in the WNBA. Y'all got closing thoughts as we get ready to get out of here?
Hey, we appreciate everybody for tuning in. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to all the platforms. We will be back tomorrow for Hot Takes Wednesday. I'll be on also with Coach Dre, talking Colorado, talking Shedeur Sanders and all the busts in the NFL. So you check that out tomorrow. You don't want to miss that. We gonna really be talking and really getting into some conversations. And I'm also gonna have these two ladies up on the platform when we go into Shedeur Sanders with Coach Dre. That's a show that's coming up that they don't even know yet, but it's coming. So y'all just be ready, buckle in, because it's gonna be one hell of an off season. And we're gonna be bringing you coverage from different sides of the rim. So man, stay tuned, hit that notification bell, and make sure you become a member. I am going to be releasing some new merch on RobDaManMedia's platform, and we're going to be dropping and giving away some free stuff. So we will be at some NFL games. We'll be at CU games. So you don't know where RobDaManMedia is going to be at, but we will be represented in these streets somewhere. So y'all better stay tuned. You better lock in, become a member today, because the members going to know. So if you ain't a member today, you're missing out.
And finally, if you don't forget anything else, or you don't remember anything else, you cannot fake influence. And that's the main thing that I'm putting out here about Shedeur. Shedeur is influential. And that's something that cannot be stopped no matter how they try to.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, we appreciate y'all rocking with us. Oh yeah, we got some fun coming up. We got some fun coming up too on Cess Talk Sports. We got the WNBA Fantasy League coming up. Y'all come and hang out with us for the draft lottery, the fantasy draft. We gonna have we gonna pick the teams live. Come hang out with us. We got hot takes. We got say less, mean more. We got now what. We got the live games, and y'all know I'm always game cocking, y'all. So I mean, just lock in. It's up from here until next time. Until us, y'all stay tuned. Talk soon, man. I appreciate the co-host, y'all. We